Good morning, students. Today I will be giving you few questions from chapter 4, 5 and 6. You all are required to write down their answers in your physics notebook. So question number 1 is, mention one difference between reflection of light from a plane mirror and total internal reflection of light from a prism. So children, for this, you can find the answer on page number 98 of your physics textbook. Coming to question number 2, a lens forms an upright. Upright means virtual, erect image. So a lens forms an upright and diminished image of an object placed at its focal point. So the object is placed at focal point. Name the lens and draw a ray diagram to show the formation of the image. So the lens is concave lens, and then you draw the ray diagram to form a virtual image. Question number 3 is, a convex lens forms an image of an object equal to the size of the image. So where is the object placed in front of the lens? Draw a diagram to illustrate it and state two more characteristics of the image. So the object is placed at 2f1, children. Actually, in the question, it was given that the size of the object is equal to the size of the image. And this is possible only if the object is placed at center of curvature, or you can say 2f1. So the first step was how to draw a convex lens. First of all, you draw a convex lens, take an optical center, and then you take a scale, and in your scale, mark all the points equidistant from each other. For example, if I take OF1 as 3 centimeter, then the distance between 2f1 and f1 should be 3 centimeter. Distance between O and F2 should be 3 centimeter. Distance between F2 and 2F2 should be also 3 centimeters. So each distances should be same. Then you place the object at 2F1, and once your object is placed at 2F1, then we will draw the ray diagram. Our first ray diagram is a ray incident parallel to principal axis after getting refracted will pass through second focus of the convex lens. Second focus is F2. It passes through second focus. And then the other ray should be a ray passing through optical center will move undeviated. And the point where the two refracted ray intersect is the point where you form the image. Children, kindly use a sharpened pencil, and whenever you are drawing the diagram, make sure you are putting the arrows on incident as well as refracted rays. So here in this diagram, you can see that if AB is the object and A dash B dash is the image, then the height of image is equal to height of object. And the image formed is also real and inverted. So the next question is, a ray of white light is passed through a glass prism. It is being passed through a glass prism and a spectrum is obtained on a screen. Now you have to tell whether the colors have same width in the spectrum or not. What does it mean? That if you are having a prism and if white light is incident, then you know according to the dispersion there will be 7 colors made here, VIBGYOR, and the same VIBGYOR will go and form on the screen. Now the question is, on the screen, the width of violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red, will the width of each color be same? The answer is no. It will not be same. Why? Because different colors will have different width on the screen. Just remember this, that different colors have different width on the screen. So the next question is, calculate the frequency of yellow light of wavelength 550 nanometer. N stands for nanometer. So the wavelength is given to us, which is 550 nanometer. Now children, nano can be written as 10 raised to power minus 9. 1 nanometer is equal to 10 raised to power minus 9. Nano means 9. Since nano is very small, so yeah, it is minus 9. So write down the wavelength as 550 multiplied by 10 raised to power minus 9 meter, and speed of light in air, you already know its value. That is 3 multiplied by 10 raised to power 8 meters per second. Then use the formula C is equal to nu lambda, and you have to find the value of nu, that is frequency. So after calculation, this 10 raised to power minus 9 will move to the numerator and it will become 10 raised to power 8 plus 9. And when you solve this question, your answer will come 5.4 multiplied by 10 raised to power 14 hertz. The SI unit of frequency is hertz. Now the next question is, name the radiation in an electromagnetic spectrum which has highest penetrating power. Children, gamma radiations have highest penetrating power because it have highest frequency. Just remember that if frequency is more, it means energy is also more. So if energy is more, the penetrating power will also be more. So the next question, question number 7 is, define the term power of a lens and in which unit it is expressed. Now children, the definition you'll write down yourself. And the SI unit of power of a lens is diopter. D-I-O-P-T-R-E, diopter. And it is represented by a symbol capital D. The symbol used is capital D. Don't write down small d. Small d means deci. Therefore, you'll use capital D. Coming to the next question. How does the angle of deviation depend on refracting angle of the prism. So how is angle of deviation depending on refracting angle of prism? Children, we have already learned one formula, that is angle of deviation delta is equal to I1 plus I2 minus A. A was angle of prism. So from here it can be seen that if angle of deviation increases, angle of prism also increases. They are in direct relation. So I'll say that angle of deviation increases with the increase in angle of prism, that is A. So the next question is, how does the angle of deviation produced by a prism change with increase in the angle of incidence? You have to draw a curve showing the variation in the angle of deviation with the angle of incidence at prism surface. So first step, children, whenever you are drawing a graph, make sure you are writing X, that stands for x-axis, Y, that stands for y-axis, and origin. First step is this. And when you are drawing a graph, it should not be like this. No, on the horizontal part, it is line. You have to mark an arrow. Similarly, a line which is going vertical up. And this is origin. Origin is the point from where the two lines are starting. In fact, it is line. It can be extended both ways, up and down, left and right. But we will be using only the first part of the graph. So as done earlier also, angle of deviation decreases with increase in angle of incidence. So first of all, the angle of deviation is decreasing. Angle of deviation decreases with increase of angle of incidence, and this occur till you reach a point which is known as angle of minimum deviation. And if you further increase angle of incidence after this point, if you increase angle of incidence, now angle of deviation will not decrease. Rather, after a particular point known as minimum deviation, if you further increase angle of incidence, the angle of deviation starts increasing. So students, when you are drawing this graph, it should not be in shape of V. It is a graph having a shape of U. And the lower point should be only one. There is one point where you will get minimum deviation. Moreover, when you are drawing the graph, you have to write down which quantity you are taking along x-axis and which quantity you are taking along y-axis. That is angle of incidence and angle of deviation. Now the last question for today is, which of the two prisms, A made of crown glass and B made of flint glass, deviates a ray of light more? And you have to give reason in support of your answer. Children, this question also you have to do yourself, and you can get its answer in exercise 4A. So here the deviation is directly proportional to refractive index. So now I have given you the hint of this question. You all have to do these questions as your revision questions. So that's it for today. Thank you, children, and have a nice day.